there, how are you all doing? I hope you're all doing well. Coco Wayo coloring books, arguably the most viral coloring books in the entire world. Is there truly a difference if you buy them on Amazon versus an art store versus TikTok? And yes, one of these coloring books is a fake. Can you guess which one it is? I'm starting to think this isn't fake at all. I wanted to buy the exact same coloring book from 3 different places to see if there actually is a big difference, because a few months ago I made a video trying to understand the TikTok phenomenon of Coco Wayo books. As someone that had never used them before, I always just assumed they were a bit young or they seemed a bit childish, and I didn't really understand what it was about these books specifically, or this style of coloring book that people loved so much, until I tried it for myself. I have actually done quite a lot of different coloring pages in these style of books. Coco Wayo is made more for comfort and accessibility, not fine art. Their paper was not ever originally made to be super high quality to keep the cost low. And when I made my first video, I remember saying like, gosh, the pages of these, they're so thin. They're so incredibly thin, you can kind of see through. And when you color them in, by default, they tell you to put something behind the paper, which is quite normal with coloring books, but they soak through the pages so much, you could almost make a second coloring page on the other side by making outlines. And I did not realize until people told me this, but they said, buy these in a bookshop if you want better quality paper, because the ones on Amazon are independently published, which means that Amazon themselves print these on demand when they're purchased. And when these became so popular, they actually became published. And the publishers by default choose better paper than just the cheap stuff that Amazon has. So I thought it would be interesting to do a video where I purchased the same coloring book on Amazon, independently published, from a bookstore, and also from TikTok. For this video, I wanted the exact same coloring book too, but it's actually very, very hard to find the same coloring book that is independently published that also then became a published book. I actually have the original independently published version of this coloring book specifically that I also did manage to find at a bookstore that is now officially published. This one is by Random House, New York, and visually you can already see there is a slight difference. The published one is actually a little bit smaller than the other one. We're going to compare the pages today, but the reason why I bought one from TikTok is I saw a bunch of people promoting it. I picked a star seller thinking, okay, I'm curious to see if they sell like the independently published ones or if they sell the published ones, right? So I'm looking at the listing, like this, they've got great reviews, people have promoted it, fine. This shows up, Coco Wayo's missing, the colors are completely different, and the quality is just abysmal in comparison. So I did not deliberately go out of my way to buy a fake. I genuinely didn't. I thought based on the reviews of this seller, people promoting this seller, I thought it was gonna be okay. But like everything about this book screams fake, right? So we're gonna test all 3 books today. For the fake one, we have literally nothing on the back whatsoever. No barcode, no nothing. This is the Amazon KDP version. This is the Amazon copy versus the fake that I got from TikTok. And then lastly, you have the Random House, and this is how this one looks. A completely different barcode again. Now, naturally, you would think, oh, the published ones, the better quality paper is gonna be better. Like, it's obvious, Chloe. Why are you even bothering doing this test, right? However, I have seen a lot of people online, especially Reddit, say that they don't like the published paper because the pens don't blend as well on there. So, like, for example, why does this happen on good quality paper? My friend and I got the Cozy Cuties book by Coco Wayo. Both of us using a Hoo-Hoo's noticed this. We're both used to coloring on lower quality Amazon paper without issue. Is this a technique thing with better quality paper what we need to learn? Please help. And when you look at the picture, you can see it's really not blended well at all, and the markers haven't taken to it very well. Said perfectly fine coloring on lower quality paper, also with a Hoo-Hoo's. So this is how their paper looks when they use just the cheaper Amazon kind, right? Got a Hoo-Hoo's and this book for my birthday, and the same thing happens to my pages. However, when I used Amazon published books, it doesn't happen. Even tried using the plastic behind instead of card, and it's slightly better but not great. Weird, it looks like maybe the paper is absorbing too much of the ink. Maybe it's too high quality. This technique I learned is chasing the ink. Keep it wet as you move, even if it means going real slow. Don't let any dry as you go along to get that smooth look. I got some coloring books with a better paper and the colors look awful. Yeah, I used a Hoo-Hoo for the first time in this book, and it felt like I was being lied to by everyone saying how good a Hoo-Hoo is. But it's normal. The paper in Cozy Cuties is higher quality. I think it's published through Penguin and they changed the paper, but not specific marker paper. From what I understand, higher quality paper and cardstock absorbs the ink a lot more and dries quicker, whereas the Amazon paper absorbs it slower and dries slower. Then you have a specific marker paper which is thick but doesn't absorb the ink as quickly, so blending is easier. So that makes complete sense. Like, I am no marker expert here. I do have a lot of Hoo-Hoo markers. I love them. Markers are not my main medium. I love to use them just for fun, but they're not my main medium. So yeah, I thought today, let's give it a go. Let's try all 3 of these coloring books, compare the quality of the paper, see which one's best. Let's hope it's not the fake one, because that would be upsetting. Let's get started comparing these coloring books. I'm really looking forward to giving them a try. Okay, so as I said earlier, I'm a huge fan of relaxing and coloring with these coloring books during my downtime, and FlexiSpot just recently sent over
over their Nest modular power sofa bed, and I've been showing this thing to everyone because I have never loved a sofa this much before. Thank you so much to FlexiSpot for sending it over and sponsoring today's video. The reason I love this sofa so much is because it adapts to whatever our day looks like. Each seat has a power extension feature, so you can move the seat forward and turn it into this really comfortable lounging space or even a sofa bed. My husband and I love watching movies together. We can stretch out on the sofa and turn it into a bed and really enjoy our movie night. It even has built-in charging ports on the side so we can keep our phones and tablets charged without ever having to get up in the middle of the movie. I also spend a lot of time sitting here during the day, whether I'm working on my laptop, colouring, or just taking a few minutes to relax. And the sofa is designed with a 6-point ergonomic support, which helps support your neck, shoulders, back, lumbar, hips, and legs. The manually adjustable headrests are a really nice touch too, because you can customise the angle depending on whether you're reading, working, watching TV, or just leaning back to relax. And it really makes a huge difference if you're sitting for longer periods because you don't end up feeling stiff or uncomfortable afterwards. Another thing I appreciate is how practical it is. If you've watched my videos before, you'll know I'm messy. Accidents obviously happen. It has water-resistant, stain-resistant fabric, making it easier to clean up, especially if you have kids, pets, or you're just like me. And while no fabric is completely pet proof, it has held up so well against everyday wear. Mine also has the under seat storage, which has quickly become one of my favorite features to store my coloring books, markers, blankets, pillows. I also love that it has a zero wall design, which means you can fully recline without ever having to pull it away from the wall. So if you're looking for a sofa that's comfortable, versatile, and actually designed for the way families live, check out the FlexiSpot Nest modular power sofa bed. It's currently on promotion and I've linked it in the description if you'd like to take a closer look. And thank you so much to FlexiSpot again for sponsoring today's video.
Okay, we have bookstore, TikTok, and Amazon. This is my original Amazon copy from a year ago. I don't know if you can still get the independently published version of this. If you can, again, I will link this one. I will link the published version. We'll not be linking this one. So let's start with the covers. Let's see the difference. So straight off the bat, the Amazon published copy is larger than the other two by quite a large amount, actually. The fake is a different size all its own, but closest to the published copy. Published by Random House. So cover quality wise, for me personally, the only difference I actually visually can see on here is that they added a mouth and changed the eyes of the frog a little bit. Don't know if that was deliberate or if it was just a personal choice, but for me, that's the only difference that I can visually see. If you see something I don't, feel free to let me know, but for now, that's all I see. Now, the published version of this book is $7.98. You can buy this on Amazon as well. The Amazon copy is actually $9.99 right now, and you can also purchase this one. So the Amazon one was published May of 2024. The published version was January of 2026. So starting off, opening up the first page, there is a massive difference, huge difference. It's obviously formatted different. They've put the name here, the name up here. This paper, you can see the ghosting very, very lightly of the next page. It's incredibly thin paper. You can see it ghosting on the back of the page as well, versus the published version by Random House, which actually, you know what? You can still see the ghosting through it, but the paper does not feel as flimsy. This feels very flimsy compared to this one, which is expected. This is published paper. This paper has been picked specifically for this to be better quality. So obviously it's going to feel and be higher quality. Is everything in the same order? That's what I'm curious about. No, wait, no, it's not. So everything's been kind of switched up a little bit. This is the first page. Then this is the second page of the published book. This is the second page of the Amazon copy. So it looks like they've just kind of switched the pages up to be a little bit different to the other one. Okay, so the first page is the same. Oh, these are slightly different. This one is almost the same, but again, they've kind of changed up the face slightly. So that's interesting to see. You can kind of see the quality difference between these two books. So this is the published one versus the Amazon one. The lines are a lot more opaque in the high quality paper, and you don't see the ghosting quite as easily as you do on this copy. So let me just count how many coloring pages are in this book to see if they're the same. Okay, so there are actually more pages in the published version. There's 45 coloring pages in the Random House book versus 40 pages in the Amazon copy. So not only is this cheaper, better quality paper, but there's also 5 more coloring pages. So already you look at it and you're like, okay, this is going to be better, right? So is it worth it? I would say yes so far, but obviously I haven't tried the paper. I guess we'll find out how well it applies. I mean, coloring the cheap paper, it is very, very seamless because the cheaper quality paper usually creates a very smooth sort of finish purely because it is cheaper paper. It just seeps in very easily, whereas the thicker paper causes it to dry quicker, which then causes less blendability based on what I've seen. This paper in the fake copy it actually doesn't feel as thin as the Amazon paper does, but the paper is not as white for example, it's not as white, it's a completely different color, completely different type of paper, obviously. So I'm going to get rid of the Amazon copy right now, and I'm going to compare this one to the actually published one. So they've removed the logo of Coco Wayo. When you open it up, this is completely different. So they've just randomly changed this a little bit, which is weird. The quality is absolutely abysmal. Like, everything about this, it's just terrible quality. Everything about it. This page is completely different. I haven't even seen this one. It's so strange because it's got all of the Coco Wayo. I'm starting to get confused now. Is this the original? Like, before they put it on Amazon, did they manufacture it themselves and make this one? And this is just a mega old original copy. Okay, so this is not right because Coco Wayo Coloring is not its correct Instagram handle. It's at Coco Wayo Coloring. At Coco Wayo Coloring on Facebook, YouTube, Pinterest. Here it says Coco Wayo Publishing. Here it says Coco Wayo Coloring. And it says Coco Wayo Coloring here. I'm so confused. What is going on? Why did they make an entirely different page? That's why I'm confused about. Like, why is this entire page even in here? Because it is not a direct copy of this book or the other one. So I'm just very confused. And what's this? Okay, so now I'm really confused because I'm starting to wonder if this is just another copy in general and not a fake at all. Was this like an original copy? It says copyright 2024. So normally fake copies directly copy the book they have, right? But these are completely different. This one I purchased in 2025 on Amazon. This one is from 2024. So is this just like a really early version? Because why bother adding all of this information into the book, this as well, when it's not even in this version? It just simply says copyright Coco Wayo, right? I'm starting to think this isn't fake at all. But the only thing that is making me wonder is normally Amazon copies have a little barcode on the back, right? This one doesn't have anything at all. I'm thrown for a loop here. Do we have 3 completely different kinds of books? Huh, it gets deeper. Okay, so there are 40 pages in this one, just like the Amazon copy. So coloring pages, going through each coloring page, follows the same order as this Amazon copy does. So this potential original copy, all the edges line up, which in a fake book, you might assume that it probably doesn't lay out the same, or it can be a little bit dodgy, but the page layout is the same. There are 45 coloring pages in this one, there's 45 in this one as well. The only real difference of the pages I see is they're a little bit more jagged and not as high quality versus the Amazon copy, which obviously they're pretty seamless because even the sizing is very similar. The cover is the same, minus the color, obviously, and the quality. Let's get started coloring and figure out which one, once and for all, is the best paper. Okay, so I'm thinking I'm gonna start with the basic Amazon coloring page. This paper shows the colors far better. One from Temu, super dull. Like, the colors have gone on really poorly compared to these two. This is by far the most vibrant, the published version. As for soaking through the back, it's about the same on all of them. This is almost more like a newsprint. You can kind of see the difference in the paper. It's more gray. But yeah, so far, published better, more vibrant. Yet you can definitely see how it bleeds more. Like, the actual alcohol marker itself is spreading over the lines on this Amazon paper. Amazon printed, officially published. You can see how it's spread a lot here versus this one. So this paper handles the marker obviously better because it's specifically made more for markers. As for the Temu copy, I'm sat here editing this video, right? And I keep saying Temu instead of TikTok. I have no idea why I keep doing that. Anytime I say Temu, just know I mean TikTok. I did not buy anything from Temu because they do sell fake books on there. Let's see how this one handles the marker, if it spreads out or not. Weirdly, on the Temu version, it's actually not really spread either. It seems to be okay. Now, somewhat completely confusing everyone, I'm gonna stick to one coloring page, then compare afterwards. Paper, oh my god, I don't remember it bleeding this bad before. Is it the markers I'm using? Why is it bleeding so bad? made the milk jugs a weird colour now because I can't keep them white because it bled. Because the paper is so thin and cheap, it does make a very seamless blend because it's just constantly spreading the whole time. I'm curious to see how the others are gonna react, to be honest, to see if they act in the same way, because the paper quality is better, and that was one complaint I saw people say, that they actually preferred the cheaper paper. It is actually obnoxious how bad these markers are spreading. Like, no matter how far away from the lines I seem to keep it, it just keeps blading over the lines, and it's so annoying. Okay, we're getting close to being done with this specific one, and as you can see, again, there is not really too much streaking going on. I'm gonna also attempt to try and make every part of this the exact same color on each coloring page so that it looks as similar as possible to compare. Look how bad this bleed is. It's just bleeding constantly, and I'm trying to like avoid going too close to the lines, but then if I don't go close enough, then there's gaps. I actually don't remember it being this bad last time. I don't know, I don't remember it being quite that bad last time. Maybe it's the markers I'm using. What is this thing supposed to be? Is a bag of chips? Oh, it must be chips. Give him some watermelon shoes, because why not? This is a hot mess. Somehow the purple went from here to now here. You can see why I don't use markers very often, can't you? Removing that is what went through to the other side. And just overall, lots of bleeding, but it does go on pretty seamless. Like when you're using one color and not trying to blend, at least, because I don't have the best marker blending skills, let's face it. It does go on pretty seamless. So I'm gonna compare this now to, let's color in the bear. This feels like my marker's dry, and it's not, because it's a brand new marker. That's how it feels on this paper compared to the other paper that really soaks it. I don't know, I feel like it's blending pretty decently. Yeah, no, see, I personally feel like the blend is better on the published paper than it is on the Amazon paper. It's also a lot more vibrant. I was expecting this to be streaky based on what people were saying. Maybe they've upgraded the paper again, or they've changed the paper, because to me this seems to be pretty seamless. Like, it doesn't look patchy at all. I'm actually curious what Christmas book that I had. So over Christmas time, my husband and I both coloured one of these pages, and I loved this paper. This is also a Random House book, but even so, this feels like different paper quality to me, because again, this is from Random House. There's sort of more of a shine to this paper than this one. But it's like they've upgraded the paper, because this is a newly published one compared to, say, this one from last year. So I do think they must have upgraded the paper, because the issues people were having with the sort of wasn't laying on as well. I genuinely think that they have changed this paper up in these more modern ones. Yeah, no, there's just no question. This paper is better in literally every way. The issues people were having on Reddit, I'm not having that issue with this specific book. Okay, so this is the officially published Random House one. We are complete with it. Here is how it looks close up. Very little bleed. It went on very smoothly. Very nice to colour. It did feel like my marker was a little bit more dry on this paper, but it still dried very smoothly. And this is the TikTok one. Obviously I had that weird issue with the bleeding, but overall it still went on nicely. I actually still think that the Random House book blended even nicer. So for me, I didn't have the issue they had on Reddit. All right, let's see how this paper, whoa, I've just realized that the paper actually dried okay.
I've just realised that now it's dried, it's actually way brighter. Okay, so this is behaving very similarly to the published book in that it's not really bleeding out of the lines like the Amazon version is. The published one is clearly by far the best, but this is actually better than the Amazon one, so I don't know what paper this is. If anyone actually knows if this is just an original copy with different paper, let me know. Okay, the TikTok book is officially done, and honestly, it was leagues better than even the Amazon paper for me. It wasn't bleeding over the lines like the Amazon paper. I honestly don't know what was wrong with it and why it was doing that, because I swear I've not had that issue on the other page before, but this is of course the published book, and this is the one from TikTok. And honestly, I think the published book is by far, hands down, the winner. It's also the cheapest one, so I feel like it's a no-brainer. There's definitely a difference though between this book, like I said, and some of maybe their earlier published books. The paper is definitely a little bit different. Number 2 is actually the TikTok book, which did surprise me, honestly, and I still don't know if this was an original or what it was, but if you have this book exactly, please let me know, because again, it has this darker pink with the lack of logo at the top. So that is all 3 books. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really hope that you enjoyed it. Let me know if you want me to do more deep dives like this into further colouring books, or if you just want me to talk a little bit more about Coco Wyo in the future. Let me know, because I know there's a lot of controversy behind it. And yeah, thank you so much for watching this video. I really hope that you enjoyed it. Take care of yourselves, and I will see you in the next video.